Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So I came out with a few videos voicing my personal opinion about the fight, okay? So with that out the way, the fight is still going down. I'm still excited for the fight because I'm a huge heavyweight boxing fan. We know this, you know what I mean? So I'm going to break down the fight stylistically and just tell you what I think. And I'm going to tell you why I believe Deontay Wilder is going to win this fight. Now, Chris Arreola, he's a tough dude, man. Now, you look at his record, you may see, he's been stopped twice by Stavern and Vitaly. Vitaly he retired in the corner. The Stavern fight got stopped by the referee, but he was still up on his feet. So if Wilder gets a clean knockout, like he knocks Arreola out, like he knocks him out, that would be very impressive, even over Chris Arreola at this point in Arreola's career. Arreola's going to bring a punch. You know, the guy has a 72% KO ratio, so he's going to bring a punch. He's tough as hell. That's one thing I cannot take away from Chris Arreola. He's tough. He's tough. It's just with Chris, you know, he's just been, in my opinion, just been given a lot of, he's had his opportunities at title shots. But with that said, he will bring toughness to the table. He will bring a hard right hand. And he is capable enough to where I believe that he can fight a measured, well-paced fight the way he did against Stavern. Even though he lost that second fight, he fought a good fight, man. In a losing effort, he fought a good fight. Even the Thomas Adamek fight, when he got outpointed in that fight, I thought he fought a good fight for the most part. Now his defense is leaky at times, but for the most part, keeps a nice tight guard. Likes to work behind his jab so he can land that right hand. To me, that's his best combination, jab and right hand. And his right hand, it's not like your normal, he throws it at a weird angle. If you guys watch Chris Arreola, you know what I'm talking about. It's like it's not really an overhand right, but it's not a straight right. It's like a hybrid. It's like a mixture between the two, but it's like an awkward right hand he likes to throw where he'll lean over to his left and he'll throw like a overhand straight right, if that makes sense. It's like an awkward way he delivers it. That punch is very powerful. Ask Eric Molina. It's a very powerful punch, and that's one thing he does have going for himself. And Chris doesn't back down from a fight. You know, when he was standing there going toe to toe with Berman Stavern. He was even trying to walk down Vitaly Klitschko. So no way in the world am I trying to, you know, undermine this man's toughness. No way in the world would I do that. No way in the world would I disrespect him by, undermining his toughness as a fighter and him wanting to come get it. His last few fights, though, if I'm going to be honest with you, I thought he probably lost those fights. The Harper fight was an unexpected slugfest, but that was mainly because I thought Harper is a dude that's, if you bring the fight to him like that and you try to slug it out with him and you give him his opportunities, even though he's a big guy and you look at him from a distance and think, yeah, he's just an out-of-shape guy, hey, that dude got some hands too, man. You know what I mean? He got some hands too. The Arreola, when he fought Kaufman, looked like he was trying to, huff and puff and blow the house down really quick, and it didn't work. And he had to stand in there and grind it out with Kaufman. He was getting caught with some good right hands. One right hand that put Arreola down. I think he's susceptible to right hands. Watch the Vitaly fight and the Adamek fight. The Cassie, he's just, even Stavern, he's just there to get hit with those right hands. And he is there. You can catch Arreola in between combinations. That's one thing that I've seen that Stavern was able to do, was catch him in between combinations with short shots. We know that Deontay Wilder has added that little short check left hook to his repertoire over his last few fights. Maybe Arreola can try to force us into a Johann Duhaupas situation where he's walking Deontay down a little bit, and he could try to probably pressure Deontay with his jab and try to slip that long right hand and try to roll under that check left hook that Deontay likes to throw. Arreola, in the second Stavern fight, he was moving his head pretty well in that fight, but then he started to get caught. And Arreola's one of those guys, man, even though he's never won the title, he's had title shots against Stavern and Vitaly. He just comes up short. I don't know what it is with Chris, man. It's like there's something missing sometimes in those fights, The last fight with Kaufman, I know he came in at like 236, 237, which is very good weight from him. It's very good weight for Chris. It looks a lot better than coming in at 260. But even with that said, I just think Deontay Wilder right now, man, is just on a higher level than Chris. I think he's less war-torn than Chris. I think his jab is going to give Chris a lot of trouble. Chris has problems dealing with jabs. There's a lot of fighters that do. He's not the only one. But I even thought Adamek was outlanding him, and I thought Adamek was out jabbing him too. He just knew when to throw it, when to time Chris. Vitaly was out jabbing him, setting him up with right hands. Sometimes Chris can just go into the high guard where he'll just catch punches and he'll try to come out of that and throw shots. I think that's the wrong game plan with Deontay Wilder because he can fight off his back foot and he can keep that stick on you and land long right hands. He'll just keep you at a long distance all night and he'll go 12 rounds and he'll want to do it for 12 rounds. If for some reason Deontay Wilder just doesn't overwhelm Chris Arreola, Chris is going to have a chance. If Wilder lands a good right hand and it doesn't back Chris up or it doesn't make Chris, take a second to think or go to a plan B, if Chris just eats it up like M&Ms and keep coming forward and pressure Deontay against the ropes and he has that strong right hand, it's going to be very interesting. Because I've seen when Wilder was fighting Molina for a little bit in that fight, even to Spilka before he ended up knocking him out, and even Stavern through the whole fight, Deontay is smart enough to know, man, that if he can't get you out of there, he'll just try to outbox you. And I'm glad that he picked that up. It lets me know that he's growing as a fighter. Breland's a good trainer to have in his corner, to let him know, man, you're not going to knock everybody out. So when you do get in there with somebody that has a tough chin like a Stavern, you can't get him out of there. You have to be able to outpoint guys and use that stick, man. You can't have long arms like that and not be able to win a round or two or three or four just using your stick. And Wilder showed me he can do that. So I picked Wilder by knockout, although, we can argue that Chris has never been laid out on his back, counted out, knocked out. But I think at this stage of his career, he just doesn't move his head enough for me. And I think he's going to be right there to get hit with right hands. Just looking at all his other fights, even when he was a little bit more in his prime, he was still getting hit with a lot of right hands. Just he had a tough beard on him, man. He was able to take those shots. But Deontay just has more facets to his game. One thing about Deontay that maybe Chris can take advantage of, and that's trying to, focus on Deontay, one of his eyes, probably work the jab, try to catch Deontay, swell him up around his eyes. That's one thing I noticed about Deontay. He seems like he's going to be easier to it's probably easier for a guy to make him swell up around his face is what I'm trying to say. If you land some leather on him, keep it on him. Because Duhaupas was able to sneak that jab in there and some right hands to puff up Deontay's eye a little bit, but Deontay fought through it, man. He fought through it and he was able to win the fight. But I'm just trying to look at different ways that I think Arreola can have a chance in this fight, man. But I just see Deontay either knocking him out or just beating him in a 12-round decision. But I do think the early rounds are going to be very entertaining. And we're going to see what happens, man. Because if Chris, he does have a strong right hand and he will try to finish you. He did it to Seth Mitchell. You know what I mean? So should be an exciting fight as far as the styles go, But I've already gave my opinion on this, so I'm not going to tear this fight down. I gave my opinion. I don't need to make countless videos, trying to tear the fight down. But the fight's going to take place, so I'm excited for the fight as a fight fan, and I'll probably do some more videos on it. But Chris is going to have to make that right hand count early. He's going to have to get it pumping early, man, to really get Deontay Wilder's attention. I'm not sure how much the power will carry later on into the fight for Arreola, because it seemed like he's been getting a little bit tired in his last few fights going down the stretch. We know he tested positive for the marijuana, and to me, like I said, I'm not going to hold on to failed drug tests forever. As long as you pay your debt or whatever and sit out the time they want you to sit out, come back, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? So, and it was just, it was marijuana. It wasn't like it was a steroid. And I do not think marijuana is performance enhancing, at all. But I also was hearing, Chris is, I don't know how true this is, but I know when him and Dominic Brazil were supposed to fight, a lot of people that went under the radar, people didn't even know about that. They canceled it because they said Chris had a broken ankle. I don't know how true that is. I didn't see pictures or photos. So if that broken ankle was true, that's why that fight got scrapped. And then Dominic Brazil ended up getting a title shot with Anthony Joshua. But Brazil and Arreola was supposed to fight a few months ago. They canceled it. PBC canceled it because Arreola he broke his ankle. So hopefully he's fully recovered. But they did say, though, when that fight was canceled, that they're going to try to get the fight back on either June or July. So this makes sense. So I'm expecting him to be fully recover from this ankle injury if it was true. But I read that on the PBC website, though. So I'm going to go with Deontay Wilder. I'm going to go by knockout, man. I think Chris gassing late in the fight, mid to late in the fight. And I think Wilder will start finding a home for that right hand, and he'll start mixing in uppercuts. And I think just down the stretch, he'll be a little bit too much for Chris. And I think Deontay Wilder will be the first. I don't know if he'll knock him out. I say it's going to be a stoppage. I think it's going to be a stoppage. I think either the ref's going to step in or maybe the corner. But Chris Arreola is tough, man. If he get that right hand working, establish a jab, and move his head, he might have a chance. But I'm going with Deontay Wilder in this fight, though. I'm out.